So this morning, I woke up with some pretty powerful imagery coming through, and one question going over and over in my mind. Like the very first thought today was, why does the ground shake? And so I woke up thinking about earthquakes and the symbology of what that is to us, right? So these earth energies are foundational energies. They are the slow moving material, physical, manifested energies in our life. But they also deal with like root chakra energies, which are all around safety, security, and stability, those foundational energies. So I woke up this morning with the question running over and over in my mind, why does the ground shake? And the answer is so simple. And at the time, in that first moment, it was like, I feel like it's got to be something deeper than this, and it will be, and it is, but it isn't at the same time. So the first answer is to make cracks, to break things up, to release energy, right? But to make cracks. So then I was thinking about how we are facing this period and of cracks being formed in our our foundational energies, how we perceive them and define them. And so what would be the benefit of the cracks? The next line of thinking and the visualization of a tree came to me. So the earth shakes and makes cracks. And the tree knows that now it has more room for its roots to grow, right? So back to that root chakra energy. Specifically, my brain went, so it can wiggle its roots down deeper, right? I did a whole little shimmy in my thing. But a tree can survive losing what is growing at the top. It can survive fire. It can survive wind. It can survive everything above ground to a point being wiped out, so long as its roots run deep. So the message that was coming through to me in all of this is that we are watching the ground shake. There are cracks forming in the foundation, but this is so that we can turn inward, right? Because the roots grow underground. It is what is in the dark. It is the subconscious. It is the depths of our being. It is the inward. But this is happening so we can turn inward and send our roots down deep. Deep and wide. Deep and wide. We are in an activation period. And this means the reason the earth is shaking and to get to the roots is we are in this activation period, which means we are watching the things around us get polarized. Okay. When we speak and use our voice and speak our truth and become more visible, right? That's air energy. That causes a storm, that causes the winds to kick up. We're in an activation period, right? So the sparks in the activation within us, well, for some, that's going to present like a hearth fire. For some, it's going to warm. For others, it's going to rage like a bushfire and then a volcano going off. So we're going to experience this polarity in our perception of others and their perception of us. We have to be prepared for the bushfire and for the storm. So the earth is cracking so we can send our roots down deep. Hold on. That way, when these fires occur, and a lot of these are going to be fires of rage, Winds of rage, fires are going to burn, the earth is going to quake. We set things in motion when we speak. When we hold to our truth and our values and our guiding principles with integrity. When we take control of our frames of reference. When we confront our own cognitive biases and distortions in perception. And return to center and begin to speak and be visible. This causes storms in the energy. We're going to ignite some and we're going to burn others. So allow this shaping to happen. You are adapted to survive and grow in the fire. That's how it's going to crack your seeds open. It clears room for more light. When things burn in a forest, it clears out the dead grasses. It burns up what is no longer growing. And when the wind blows, if it's not alive and supple and has the green in it, they fall. Okay, so this is a period where we are removing what is dead and no longer working just by standing in our truth and our principles. Truth doesn't need to defend itself. Stands on its own, and what can't stand with it topples down, and that's what we are watching right now. So we're going to feel the earth shake. We're going to watch the fires burn, but it's all clearing land for the light to come in, for what is going to carry us forward and into the next phase of our evolution to grow. So allow the shaping to happen. Use it to grow your roots down deep. When you see the cracks in the foundation, send your roots down deep. Allow yourself to adapt and adjust and be flexible where you need to be flexible. And allow yourself to hold on with your roots to your inner truth, your inner guiding compass, your heart-centered compass. If your compass is spinning wildly, pause, root, wait for the clarity to come. Trust yourself and the trunk that you have developed to hold you up. And even if you lose some branches along the way, know that you have the ability to regrow those because you sent your roots down deep. The wind clears, the fire burns. Even when the water comes in and washes things away, this restores nutrients to the soil. It provides the ingredients and the space for new things to grow. So know that this will fuel your next expansion. The water becomes your fascia. The fire released the nutrients for growth, and it reduced the competition for the light. The winds made your stance strong in the shaking, and the ground opened to let your roots in. There may be some quiet. You may look for your normal signs, symbols, synchronicities, your messages from your guides, your inner intuition. And it may seem silent, but remember, in the worst of storm, the birds flee. The animals hunker down. Things go quiet. So go inside and send your roots down deep. Do not despair the quiet. Follow the knowing it brings and send your resources to your roots. Know that the birds will return. This is the entire dance. You are seeing the cycles. You are receiving the signals and knowing when to expand in the light and when it is time to grow in the dark and send your roots down deep and wide. The wisdom that you are relying on isn't new. We're not reinventing the wheel, so we can reduce that pressure on ourselves, right? This is a time where we need to reduce the noise, reduce those pressures, combat that sense of urgency with giving your time space to reduce your cognitive load and your active pressures, your action pressures to one or two things so that every step that you take is made with the best clarity that you have in the moment. You are returning simply and cleanly to the way things have always been. That inner truth, your inner knowing. Your energy centers are fully functioning. Again, they have been restored and cleansed. You've done the work. So trust that what can grow will always rise. Okay. This entire message came to me this morning to remind and prepare you that the earth is going to shake. I'm not talking about a little literal earthquake. That could happen. We have earthquakes all the time. But what I am talking about is that sense of foundation. Watch the areas where your security, safety, and stability feel triggered or activated. And those are just calling your attention to go inward and trust your capacity and capability. Trust your own competence and move from your own inner integrity. You're not listening to what is going on outside around you to get your validation. You are intrinsic. Your locus of control is within, not without. Anything coming from outside that is noise, that is rattling and shaking you, is creating the cracks for your roots to grow. So let it happen. Let them. I send you my love and healing energy. It's a short message today, but I think it's a big one. Watch for the earth to shake. Watch for the ways that your physical reality might feel like it's cracking apart. And use that as your cue and your sign. Your root is being restored. Your root chakra is being restored and redefined, cleansed and purged. So don't brace. Send your roots down deep and trust yourself. I love you. Send me my healing energies. Have a good rest of your day.